Another day, another story. Coal history. Coal is the most abundant fuel in the fossil family. It has been used for heating since the age of the cavemen. It has a long and varied history. But here I am going to talk when modern humans start the use of coal or when they found this. In the 1700s, the British discovered that it produced cleaner fuel than wood. However, it was during the Industrial Revolution that it became the dominant global supplier of energy. Steamships and railroads became the primary source of transportation, and its boilers burned coal as fuel. Eventually, factories started using coal too, and in the 1880s, it started being used to generate electricity. In 2012, coal accounted for 37.4% of U.S. electricity generation. But now it's increased the half of the total U.S. electricity generation. As of 2010, coal accounted for 43% of global greenhouse gas emissions from fuel combustion. Simply put, to solve the climate crisis we must stop burning coal. By burning the coal, so too, sulfur dioxide comes in our environment. Now question comes to some of the mind. What is the sulfur dioxide? Sulfur dioxide is a highly reactive and toxic gas that can have serious impacts on the environment and human health. SO2 is a byproduct of burning fossil fuels, particularly coal, and it is also produced by volcanic eruptions and other natural processes. In the atmosphere, SO2 reacts with other compounds to form sulfates, which can contribute to air pollution and acid rain. Here are some top 10 plants of the world from where 44% of total SO2 emission come from. Most of them are from Europe. 1. The top 10 ranking for SO2 consists of 3 coal plants, each from Turkey and Serbia, 2 from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and 1 each from Ukraine and North Macedonia. 2. The majority of PM10 pollution from coal power generation originates from plants in Ukraine, which has 8 plants in the top 10 most polluting plants for PM10. 3. A breakdown of NOx pollution highlights Poland and Germany from the EU. 3. Polish Bełchatów is on the top of the list, accompanied by 4 German plants in the top 10. 4. Almost all of the dirty coal power plants in the top 30 are older than 30 years. 4. The only exception is Turkey, which has plants less than 10 years old amongst the top 30 polluters. 5. Most energy community countries did not comply with the national pollutant emissions ceilings in 2019. 5. Ukraine, as being on the top of all polluter lists, interestingly met all emission ceilings for all 3 pollutants by a large margin. 6. Turkey, Ukraine and Western Balkan countries subsidize their dirty coal power plants directly or implicitly by neglecting emission standards. However, this incentive should be channeled into their abundant renewable energy potential, which would replace coal power easily. Why coal mining is bad. We were so happy with this cheap fuel source that we didn't foresee or refuse to see the coal mining effects on the environment, and they are many, most of them negative. But we don't know about the effects of this our environment. Here I'll talk about some of them. We mine enough coal to give 1 ton to every person on the planet. To date, we have mined an estimated 2.7 billion tons of coal globally, and it's not even half of the year yet. Here are some negative effects on environment and human bodies. 1. Deforestation is required to clear areas of land and mountains to prepare them for mining. 2. Coal mining releases toxic materials into the soil and water. 3. Bad mining can start coal fires which can burn for decades, releasing fly ash and smoke filled with greenhouse gases and toxic chemicals. 4. It releases coal mine methane, which is 20 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. 5. Strip mining accounts for 40% of the world's coal mines, and the practices destroys landscapes, forests, and wildlife habitation. 5. It usually requires mountain blasting and the removal of trees and plants in the mining area. 6. Coal mining increases the risk of loosening topsoils into streams and waterways, and the sediments pollute our water and can smother plant life downstream and even kill fish. 7. Coal has traces of sulfur and nitrogen. 7. When burned, these are released into the atmosphere. 7. While these chemicals are floating in the air, they can mix with water vapor and fall back to Earth as acid rain. 8. Coal is made of carbon. 8. When burned, the carbon combines with oxygen and forms carbon dioxide, one of the main contributors to global warming and air pollution. 9. Aside from carbon, the burning of coal releases sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and mercury compounds into the air. 10. When rain falls on coal stored in piles outside, the water that comes from these piles will contain heavy metals such as arsenic and lead, which can seep into the land and nearby bodies of water, killing fish and plant life. 11. Coal dust can cause respiratory problems in humans. It may also sometimes displace local communities. In some parts of the world, the working conditions for coal mining can sometimes come under question too. Thermal coal plants can use a lot of water. Thermal power plants are some of the largest users of water amongst different sectors of the economy. Some reports indicate that other energy sources like solar and wind might be far less water intensive for energy production. Why we need to quit coal. The coal industry has spent tens of millions of dollars trying to deceive the American public into believing that coal is here to stay, and that the country has no other option to power its schools, places of worship, and businesses. The industry spent big because it knows that the exact opposite is true. The age of coal is over. We now have the technology to ditch coal for good. At every stage of its life, from extraction to burning, coal does serious damage. Coal is the top contributor to climate change, is a leading cause of mercury pollution, and continues to scar mining communities in countless ways. Coal also threatens our economic security. In 2011, a Harvard report found that the life cycle effects of coal and the waste stream generated are costing the U.S. public a third to over $500 billion annually. Environmental impact. Burning coal releases a large amount of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change and global warming. Coal mining also has a significant impact on the environment, causing deforestation, soil erosion, and water pollution. Health impacts. The air pollution from coal-fired power plants can cause serious health problems, including respiratory illnesses, heart disease, and cancers. People living near coal mines or power plants are at a higher risk of exposure to toxic pollutants. Resource depletion. Coal is a finite resource that will eventually run out. As it becomes harder and more expensive to extract, we need to find alternative sources of energy that are renewable and sustainable. Economic competitiveness. Renewable energy sources are becoming increasingly cost competitive with coal, and investment in renewable energy is growing rapidly. Moving away from coal will help position countries as leaders in the global shift to clean energy. But it's not that easy to quit the use of coal. So, why is coal so hard to quit? Here are some reasons why it's hard. Because coal is a powerful incumbent. It's there by the millions of tons under the ground. Powerful companies, backed by powerful governments, often in the form of subsidies, are in a rush to grow their markets before it is too late. Banks still profit from it. Big national electricity grids were designed for it. Coal plants can be a surefire way for politicians to deliver cheap electricity, and retain their own power. In some countries, it has been a glistening source of graft. And even while renewables are spreading fast, they still have limits. Wind and solar power flow when the breeze blows and the sun shines, and that requires traditional electricity grids to be retooled. The main reason why coal sticks around is, we built it already. Infrastructure. Coal-fired power plants and coal mines are complex and expensive infrastructure projects that take years to build. Once in place, it can be challenging to transition away from these systems, especially in countries where the energy grid is heavily reliant on coal. 2. Economic dependence. Many countries and communities are heavily dependent on the coal industry for jobs and economic growth. The transition away from coal will require significant investment in alternative energy sources and job training programs to support workers who may be displaced. For example, economic dependence on coal refers to the reliance of countries and communities on the coal industry as a major source of jobs and economic growth. The coal industry provides employment to a large number of people, including miners, engineers, transportation workers, and support staff. This can make it difficult for governments to transition away from coal, as they are concerned about the social and economic impacts of job losses and declining economic activity. According to the data of UN until 2021, here are the top 5 countries with most workers in coal industries. 1. China. 2. India. 3. United States. 4. Russia. 5. Indonesia. 3. Political challenges. The coal industry has significant political influence and may resist policy changes that could hurt their profits. This can make it difficult for governments to implement regulations or incentives that encourage the transition away from coal. Social acceptance. The use of coal is deeply ingrained in some societies and cultures, and changing public attitudes towards it can be difficult. Raising awareness and educating the public about the environmental and health impacts of coal use is an important step in promoting change. Stop usage of coal. There is no one solution to stop the usage of coal, but a combination of the following measures can help reduce its reliance. Increase the use of renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, hydro, and geothermal power. For example, increasing the use of renewable energy sources is a crucial step in reducing the dependence on fossil fuels like coal. Renewable energy sources include wind, solar, hydro, and geothermal power, and they offer a number of benefits over traditional energy sources. Clean and sustainable. Renewable energy sources are clean and sustainable, producing little to no greenhouse gas emissions and other pollutants. This helps to mitigate the environmental impact of energy production and reduces the risk of climate change. Abundant and reliable. Renewable energy sources are abundant and widely distributed, providing a reliable source of energy that is not subject to the fluctuations of the global oil and gas markets. Cost-effective. The cost of renewable energy technology has been declining rapidly in recent years, making it increasingly cost-competitive with traditional energy sources. Decentralized. Renewable energy sources can be generated locally, reducing the need for long-distance energy transmission and distribution. This helps to improve energy security and reduce the risk of blackouts and other disruptions. Job creation. The renewable energy sector is a growing industry that provides a large number of jobs, including in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance. Implement energy efficiency measures to reduce overall energy consumption and demand. Promote the use of electric vehicles and alternative modes of transportation to reduce the demand for fossil fuels. Develop and implement carbon capture and storage technologies to reduce the carbon emissions from coal-fired power plants. Encourage the development of alternative technologies for industrial processes that currently rely on coal. Is a key step in reducing the use of this harmful fossil fuel. Many industrial processes, such as steel production, cement manufacturing, and power generation, currently rely on coal as a primary energy source. These processes are responsible for significant emissions of greenhouse gases and other pollutants, contributing to climate change and air pollution. To reduce the use of coal in these processes, it is necessary to encourage the development and deployment of alternative technologies that are cleaner, more efficient, and more sustainable. Implement policies and regulations, such as carbon pricing or caps on carbon emissions, to make it more expensive to use coal and less economical for businesses and individuals. Increase public awareness about the impacts of coal use on the environment and public health, and encourage community-led initiatives to transition away from coal. Thanks for watching.